Now, going over to the culture part of the podcast, you have Apple coming out with a climate change video, and it's being roasted on Twitter. Or as the youth might say, it was viscerally ratioed. Although they probably wouldn't call it Twitter, now it's called X. So they posted on the X. Still sounds awkward as hell. So it looks like it's a couple minutes long, and it's posted by Mr. Tim Cook. And, I mean, within one day, in terms of analytics, it got a lot of views. Within one single day, got 17.4 million eyeballs glued onto it. Although not many people liked it. Well, overall, it looks like 51,700 people liked it at the time, given the ratio of 0.29%. Which, again, you're one of those beloved companies ever. People love their iPhone. They love the iMac, the iPad, the eyeballs. I don't give a damn. People love that stuff. Personally, I can't help but think, oh yeah, every time you buy it, 50% is profit. They're the most successful tech company ever in terms of profitability. Even making more money than oil companies a couple years back. But I partially digress. We'll play this video right here. And let me know in the comments. I've evaluated a couple softwares to try to have video and video. The last one I tried subsequently actually had the camera, it crashed. So the software crashed when I was trying to use it. I don't know if it's because this is a higher end camera. It's 4K, and I'm always wondering, I'm looking at the screen, trying to make sure everything is in focus. I swear this autofocus is a little bit inebriated, because from time to time, it will just blur things and annoy the living bejesus out of me. Let me know in the comments. I'm open to critique, and obviously I appreciate all the feedbackers who try to make the show better and better, and I want to be able to show these in real time to improve the quality of the show. So I appreciate your patience, especially as everyone clicks the subscribe button, and we make it better together. Without further ado, we'll play this little clip from Apple. And this is Tim Cook's text. He originally, before the video, he says, and I don't know, is there an accent exclusively reserved for douchey people? Nevertheless, I'll just say, I'll pretend I'll be Tim Cook for a second. I already have a fair amount of gray hair. Let's say, quote, "At Apple, we believe that climate change is one of the world's most urgent priorities, and we are deeply committed to doing our part. Today, we had a special guest, a real force of nature. Stop by and check our progress," unquote. And without further ado, Apple's commercial. Unrealistic. There's a very large person walking down the hall. There's no earthquake, though. The camera's shaking, though. The camera's shaking.
Welcome to Apple. Welcome to Apple. Hi, I'm Tim.
She should be here any minute.
How is the weather coming in? Hi, I'm Tim. I'm gonna do the office is already carbon neutral, right?
Yeah, all yours.
The office is already carbon neutral, right? Already, it's moronic beyond all belief. All these Apple employees are nervous and scared for this special guest, and they're like cleaning the office, getting rid of the gun wrappers behind plants. The CEO of Apple is right there. So is it the message is that they're more scared of climate activists than the leader of the company? Like, why wouldn't you clean this office before the CEO is in there? Like, if Steve Jobs was there, well, there'd be a lot more innovation to begin with. But it's one of those instances where, why do you have a candy wrapper by a plant? How lazy are people these days? Now, I know the answer to that. Unfortunately, quite lazy. But I partially digress.
I hope we didn't keep you waiting.
Oh, that's hilarious. So just like Jurassic Park, it looked like an earthquake. They showed the glass of water. It was moving back and forth and back and forth, back and forth. And as if there's a giant Godzilla coming. And the person that comes on screen is a very large African-American woman. I'm surprised they haven't gotten socially canceled for this, actually. Although maybe it's supposed to be comedy. Maybe we just misinterpreted it, the category of the video.
Mother Nature.
Mother Nature, welcome to Apple. How is the weather getting in?
The weather was however I wanted it to be.
What? So Is she the Mother Nature? What?
Let's cut to the chase. In 2020, you promised to bring Apple's entire carbon footprint to zero by 2030. Henry David Thoreau over here said we have a profound
There's also...
opportunity to build a more sustainable future for the planet we share.
Why is it... So there's a girl in the background, I don't know if she's mocking her, but she's just mouthing the words?
I think our 10 o'clock said the same thing.
They all do. All right. This is my
Tim Cook looks scared and intimidated of this woman. Like,
third corporate responsibility gig today, so who wants to disappoint me first?
imagine getting paid to annoying businesses like this. You're not improving the quality of anything to the customer. You're not decreasing the cost. Not improving the customer experience. I'm not saying it's not important, but I'm saying someone's getting paid to bicker like this. And Apple's putting this commercial out, probably.
Well,
It's also hilarious. They have a lot of diversity in the room, except good old. There's like Tim is the only one white guy. I think he might be mixed. Although I don't think there's any Cubans in there, so I'm totally personally offended. I might have to write an angry letter. Although, given how messed up our modern society is, they probably give me a spot in their next commercial, and maybe a free iPhone, which I subsequently would not use. But still.
We've got some updates we're excited to share with you.
materials, status.
Is there a materials person here?
Yes, we are in the process of eliminating all plastic from our packaging by the end.
Let me guess. 50 years from now when someone else is left holding the bag.
By the end of next year, actually.
When we're also currently using 100% recycled aluminum in the enclosures of all our MacBooks, Apple TVs, Apple Watch.
What about iPod Shuffle?
It's never enough. It's a good metaphor for the situation.
Well,
It's a joke. Don't you people make Ted Lasso?
That's it.
So her joke was, what about the... Wait, let me rewind that. Wait, that was a what?
It's a joke.
What was the joke?
watch.
What about iPod Shuffle?
I guess the joke is they don't make that anymore? The joke is she's more a moron? She doesn't know the current product line offering? Which, again, I know her job is to bully them into compliance. It's not to actually know the business and how to improve things. But, yeah, again, that's not even a thing where it's like, it's not my type of humor. That's just not funny.
Well,
It's a joke.
Actually, let me see here. Fact check proved it is not a good joke. The internet told me it must be true. Had to fact check her on that.
Don't you people make Ted Lasso?
Oh, that's a different group.
we're also phasing out leather in our iPhone cases.
What about Brando?
What? That's one of the most sustainable products of materials ever. Why would you get rid of leather? Leather is great. That's ridiculous. One of the greenest things you can do is utilize every part of the cow. Once we make them for juicy, great steaks and perhaps a little filet mignon, why not make leather products? That's the definition of sustainable. Again, I should not be too surprised. Most of these, not all, but it seems like many of these people are mentally and morally vacuous to say the least. But leather is great for a myriad of reasons. It's durable, renewable, and usually looks good, I would say. But that's just my 3 cents. It used to be 4 cents, but actually no, it used to be 2 cents. Dear God. But 40-year hyperinflation, gotta do 3 cents. Should do 4, but I'm a generous man, though. Still free to click that subscribe button.
Over there. They phasing you out too?
Oh,
Ah, wait, there was the diversity, the old white guy. Which, of course, he's the butt end of the joke. Every commercial in modern America is so boring as hell, it's the same copy-paste. No innovation. Kind of like how every sitcom always has a pejorative, stupid-looking father. Think of every sitcom you've seen in the mainstream media the past couple of years, or decades. The father is always portrayed as the dumb moron every single time. Which is probably perhaps a good indicator of why our society has fallen so far, and perhaps why some men are disgustingly abdicating responsibility from being a father. Certainly sounds like it might be a contributing factor to the demise of our society, but maybe that's just me. And again, he has a leather jacket on. Leather jackets are great for the reasons I previously said, and unlike her, he actually put a modicum of effort into his apparel. And you look at the other man, and of course, he did, as all men should, suit up.
What's next?
Electricity.
Electricity status.
We're operating on 100% clean electricity.
What runs on 100% clean electricity?
Every Apple office, store, and data center runs on clean electricity, thanks to you and your powerful wind and sun.
And Apple offices are already carbon neutral.
This building is carbon neutral?
Oh yeah, we deal with a mix of clean energy and eliminating greenhouse emissions. It's kind of like if you were to...
You're seriously explaining carbon neutrality to Mother Nature?
Ah, you seriously try to explain that to me? Again, negative, pejorative. Not surprised.
Right, no, I'm sorry.
You want to tell me how photosynthesis works too? Don't.
I would just be a smartass, because right now she's being a very ugly person. I mean, metaphorically, in terms of her personality. I'll let you decide. There's a reason perhaps I'm not showing these images. They are unappealing, to say the least.
Also, over 300 suppliers have committed to using 100% clean, renewable electricity.
What's next?
Transportation.
And I can't help but notice they're probably not going to mention the most cleanest and efficient energy because they're against that. Nuclear, which is right now the best technology we currently have to actually create electricity. And I would argue actually 100% renewable and green because at the end of the day, depleted uranium is one of the most dense substances on the planet. The military uses them for tank busters. So seems like a win-win, but of course they want energy that's not fiscally green and pretends to be green for the environment.
I'm proud to report that we're shipping more products by ocean rather than air, which reduces transportation emissions by 95%.
95%? Not too bad.
Of course, she has a scowl like, it's still not good enough. Never is. And they say they're transporting by oceans. Guess what ocean travel uses? What is it? Oh yeah, a lot of diesel. So again, we'll see. Where do they go from here?
Also, happy to report that we're investing in projects around the world that protect the Earth's soil, plants, and trees.
Everyone says they're planting trees.
We've planted.
Again, the white guy's always the butt end of the joke and made to look the dumbest. And of course, it's not good enough.
Forests.
Oh, hello.
Where?
Paraguay, Brazil.
What, are you trying to save the...
It's like a hitman in a bad movie, in a really mediocre movie, which is perhaps a good metaphor for this whole thing. Now she's circling around the employees like a mob boss. Pretty apt metaphor when it comes to some of the situation.
Tropical savanna.
Yes. And we've also restored mangroves in Colombia.
What else?
Grasslands in Kenya.
Why?
Our aim is to permanently remove carbon from the atmosphere.
Then we die. Did they not know that?
What about your water usage?
We've reduced it.
By how much?
63 billion gallons.
63 million?
Billion.
Oh, this is so painful. Oh, I can't. She must secretly do a lot of exercises. Somehow the main character is able to put her arms behind her. I'm actually pretty shocked. And of course, looking ominously out into the window, into the gloom of the Apple campus. It's almost done, I promise. Tim Cook looks nervous.
As you can see, we've innovated and retooled almost every part of our process to reduce our impact on the planet. But there's still a lot more work to do.
And
Always
there's
is.
something else we wanted to share with you.
Our crappy
You're
watches.
not trying to bribe Mother Nature with Apple swag.
It's Apple's very first carbon neutral product.
Wow. It's their watches,
I want to see you do more.
which are great for the environment because I know the people who buy them throw them away within 24 months to get another one, and another one, and another one. But yes, they do care about the environment very much so. They just actually use software to make their phones obsolete when the new model comes out, which has been proven in court multiple times. But they love the environment, even though they make disposable products. And actually use software to make it worse. But what else does Mother Nature have to say in her infinite wisdom?
More of this.
You will.
When?
By 2030, all Apple devices will have a net zero climate impact.
All of them?
All of them.
They better.
They will.
They better. Why is Tim Cook intimidated by this blob? It's like a standoff in a shitty movie.
Okay, good. See you next year. Don't disappoint your mother.
Oh, the plant is coming back to life. Ooh. Ah, if Insufferable was a video, that was most certainly it. It's interesting, someone who is Mother Nature and supposed to care about the environment, you'd think she would not utilize a disproportionate amount of resources consuming food. She had many chins. But in all seriousness, there's nothing wrong with having a goal of sustainability or making a product that's green, or I would argue, or actually green for the environment. But there is a certain way, and marketing, of course, is important, and framing is important. How you frame an issue, how you advertise what you're doing. And again, having Mother Nature come to the office and bitch and just boss around and intimidate the CEO of one of the most successful tech companies on the planet, if not the most successful tech company on the planet. And I like how they didn't actually say the form of electricity they were getting. They never clarified, was it solar or wind? Are they getting 100% of their energy from wind? Well, no, that's not possible. But what are they really doing? But no, I would say, interestingly enough, I was not the only one who found the video annoying and insufferable. So it had a pretty low ratio. 0.29% people who saw the video actually appreciated it and liked it. Now, it looks like the top responses, hilariously enough, one was from Coronish. This person was saying, quote, "Stop using child labor for your cobalt," unquote. Funny because it's accurate. And a little soul crushing. Now, it also a person that got 109.3 thousand views of that comment and got 8,823 likes, which is astonishing. That comes in at a ratio of 8.07%. That is ridiculously good. And I appreciate your patience. I know I have one of my, it's a little rudimentary for my setup right now, but one of the monitors over there just signaled that it was coming in and out of focus. So autofocus is inebriated again, perhaps. You have someone by again of Furkan saying, quote, "Shut up and make some real innovation next time," unquote. Accurate and true. That's why that's funny. 180.1 thousand views and 5,008 likes. Give them a ratio of 2.78%. Another one by the name of Banana Republic Justice saying, quote, "Haha, Apple hasn't innovated since Steve Jobs died. Tim Cook makes Mark Zuckerberg look talented," unquote. Which is hilarious because Mark Zuckerberg is known for the innovative business practice of copy-paste. Control-V. Kind of like Facebook Threads, which, again, is a copy of Twitter. Failed miserably. Now, that person got 141.1 thousand, or rather 142,000 views and 3,639 likes, giving the ratio of 2.56%. Well, coming in pretty good. Now, you also have someone by the name of Cat Turd, which is a famous, interestingly enough, a famous Twitter user or X user. Now, this person just said, quote, "Clown cult," unquote. Short and simple, but effective, getting 39.6 thousand views and 3,090 likes. Well, it's pretty good, coming in at a ratio of 7.8%. You also have a name of a gentleman by the name of John Bind, and he actually just did a meme of scientists, and the meme of the scientist says, quote, 97% of climate scientists agree they don't want to be defunded, unquote. That person got 42.5 thousand views and 1,885 likes. Pretty good ratio, coming in at 4.44%. And overall, I saw very few comments actually impressed or pleased with the Apple video. And it's one of those fascinating things with marketing. Again, if they came at this with a different approach, I think it could have been a lot more effective. I don't know anyone who, like, when it comes to a lot of initiatives, annoying people is usually not a prudent thing to do. And in this case, you have someone literally coming to the office and badgering the whole office and bullying the whole office to acquiesce to her seemingly endless demands. And again, another sign of a climate activist, she's never happy. She goes, oh. It's one of those things where just a couple different words, well, I was going to say different actresses, different actors, and they made Tim Cook look intimidated. That, to me, that was the most pathetic thing. You have someone walk into the office, bully everyone, and you make Tim Cook, who's supposed to be one of the strong, well, supposed to be a strong, talented, innovative leader. I mean, you would argue he's neither of those things. You make him like intimidated by her. Like, so if you're a fan of Tim Cook, you probably are offended because, again, you look up to this person. He's being bullied by a random someone who's pretending to be Mother Nature, which is, again, kind of a cliche thing. I don't know anyone who this would appeal to. And again, insulting leather, ridiculous. One of the most renewable, greatest resources, literally been utilized since the dawn of time. Moronic, to say the least. And again, depending on how you phrase it, it can be very effective to advertise the things your business is doing that could improve things for the environment. And I agree, some of those things are good. Aluminum is one of the most recyclable metals on the planet. It's fascinating how many times and how many different applications it really goes through. I'm one of those people who actually watched a 15-minute documentary on the manufacturing of the design of the aluminum can, which was actually fascinating from an engineering perspective, but also gave me a little insight and a little information just to show you how recyclable it is. And I think just failed in every regard. In terms of successful recycling programs, one of the most infamous ones is Texas. Texas used to have an issue where there's too much litter on the side of the roads. So Texas went out, got a good marketing advertising company, and they came together. They thought, all right, we're going to use a drum barrel. We're going to put this logo, or rather, we're going to text on it, and it simply says, "Don't mess with Texas." Short, articulate, and got the point across, and it reminisces on a long-standing theme of "Don't mess with Texas." That recycling campaign was hugely successful and good for the environment. So it can be done. It's one of those things where you just need to have perhaps just a modicum in the talent department for the marketing department. Because right now, that the whole commercial just came off as insufferable, to say the least. But that's just my 3 cents. It used to be 2 cents, but for your hyperinflation, gotta do 3. You should charge 4, but I'm a generous man. What can I say? Thank you again for taking the time to tune in today. Again, we're trying to get to 4,000 subscribers by the end of September, so you click that button. I would greatly appreciate it. Also, the comments are really appreciated. I take the feedback seriously. I try to get to all of them when I can, and appreciate the cordial conversations we're able to have each other, and the feedback that helps make the show better. And if you have any software suggestions, greatly appreciate that. Try to get the picture-in-picture, and if we work together, we'll make it better slowly but surely. Also, don't forget to take the time to like the video, because that helps out with the algorithm as well. Lastly, don't forget to take the time to tell your family, tell your friends, tell your coworkers, heck, tell your enemies, tell anyone and everyone. Just stay safe, fight the good fight.